Hey you guys, thank you for coming to class. Sorry this is a recorded session and not a live session. Um, we're on week 5, halfway there. Last week we talked about so much stuff: basic nutrition, shopping smart, food labels, cooking and eating right. Oh my God, so much stuff. This week we're talking about exercise, stress. We're also talking about risky behaviors, coping mechanisms, emotions, and self-esteem. So, oh my God, so much stuff. All right, so we ready to get going? First, we're going to start about physical fitness, and this week I think you have to do writing up a exercise plan. So, what exactly is physical fitness? Physical fitness is the ability of the body to carry out daily physical activities without getting out of breath, sore, or overly tired. So it's not being able to run a 10K. It's just being able to carry out your daily physical activities. Maybe one of them's mowing the lawn or walking to the grocery store. Any type of daily physical activities without getting out of breath, sore, or overly tired. Okay? What are some benefits? And I don't know if we talked about these benefits in this class. I think we did actually last time. We talked about the different components of mental, physical, and social health. So, what are some benefits of physical fitness in these three realms? Okay, so physically, you might say it helps you look better. Mentally, it helps you feel better for sure. And socially, because you look and feel better, you might be more socially um, out there, like willing to put yourself out there and want to be around other people, want to create relationships, and just feel better about yourself. I think it overall improves your self-esteem, self-confidence, lots of benefits to physical fitness. And remember, we talked about these three realms and how it was a balance. Well, physical fitness is just one component that helps these three realms become a balance. But these are the benefits of physical fitness on those three realms. Okay, there are 5 components of fitness, and this was in your unit. There's muscular strength, muscular endurance, cardiovascular endurance, flexibility, and body composition. So muscular strength and muscular endurance, two different things. Muscular strength is the max amount of weight or something that a muscle group can sustain for one time. Okay, so it's a maximum effort, like a maximum, um, let's see, bench press. Like if you were in a gym and you were bench pressing the maximum amount of weight you could lift one time. Muscular endurance is over time, how much weight or how many repetitions a muscle or muscle group can do over time. So say the number of sit-ups you can do, because one, you can do a lot more than one. So it's not about muscular strength, it's about the endurance of the muscle. And then cardiovascular endurance, this is about aerobic fitness. Heart and lungs is cardiovascular, and how they can work over a long period of time. So that's your cardiovascular endurance. That's one component of fitness. Flexibility is another. Range of motion around a joint. That's another component of fitness, as well as body composition, which is lean to fat tissue. Lean tissue is anything in your body, bone, fluid, blood, water, or bone, fluid, organs, anything else beside that is not fat. So it's a ratio of lean tissue and muscle, all that. Anything that's not fat to fat tissue. All right, moving on. So your exercise plan. One thing your exercise plan should contain is all of these components. It should touch on all of these components and be beneficial for all of these components. So what you need to consider is what level of exercise is recommended for your age, height, and weight. You need to consider the types of exercise that you like to do, because if you don't like to do it, you're not going to do it. So pick something you like to do. I mean, it might be jump roping or hula hooping or jumping on a trampoline or rollerblading or biking, whatever you like to do because you want to continue doing it. I need you for this activity, for this exercise plan, you need to write a detailed plan of action. Detail being the key term here for your physical fitness, okay? So I want to know exactly what you're going to be doing every day for, say, a week, okay? What your plan's going to be. Normally I'd say any questions, but nobody's in here. All right, moving on. The next topic is emotional roller coaster. Okay, so how good, if you were in class, I prepared this for our live session. How do you deal with your emotions? Do you think you deal with them in a positive way or a good way or not so good? And I was going to show you a video, but I won't even show you. It's no big deal. So emotions, we know what they are, but are we really good at expressing them and communicating them, how you're feeling? Here are some helpful ways to express your emotions. Okay, you don't want to keep them all inside. You want to communicate. Bottling them up will lead to frustration down the road. So you need to find a way to decompress. And I bet you can think of some ways to decompress. You know, for some people it's drawing. For some people it's writing in a journal. For some people it's going for a run or a bike ride. And for some people it's doing something like yoga or listening to music. Lots of different ways, but you need to find something specific for you. Okay, so on to self-esteem. Do we really know what that means? A lot of people would say, yeah, I have high self-esteem. I think I'm pretty. But that's really not what self-esteem is at all. It's so much more than that. Also, where does it come from? How do some people have high self-esteem and some people have really low self-esteem? So this is what it is. It's a measure of how much you value, respect, and feel confident about yourself. So how do we get there to where we value, respect, and feel confident about ourselves? I think it has to do with choices that you make, things that you value, and how you make decisions around those things that you value. Think about that one. Okay, so benefits of high self-esteem. You have an increased respect. You have an increased ability to achieve goals. An increased willingness to try things, maybe try new things. Increased feelings of value. And think about, you know, I'm sure there's a time in your life when you had really high self-esteem, or maybe higher than now, or maybe now you have really high self-esteem. These things are easier to do. It's easier to make goals and believe that you're going to achieve them because you're willing to try them, okay? And you do have value. You have feelings of value about yourself because you know that you can accomplish these things. And my guess is, before I go into this slide, is you have people around you that are supportive and telling you, yeah, you can totally do that. Absolutely. You know, people who are supportive of your goals and your dreams, and they respect you and you respect them. And you respect yourself. Okay, risks of low self-esteem. So the opposite of the benefits, obviously. So low self-esteem, opposite the benefits of, you know, you have some decreased self-respect, decreased willingness to try. You know, when you don't feel good about yourself, you're not really willing to put yourself out there and try new things. Decreased feelings of value, decreased ability to achieve goals because of those other things. Okay, how can we improve it? I'm sure you guys have some ideas. I think one idea is positive self-talk. And that may sound silly, but instead of in your head when you have those thoughts of, God, I'm no good at this, I failed last time, I know I can't do this. I mean, think about school. If you're having a hard time in school, God, why even bother? Why should I even try? Replace those negative thoughts with positive ones. You know what? Today I'm going to do 2 assignments and I'm going to get them done. And then you do that and you have value. You respect yourself. for getting done what you said you were going to get done. You have more willingness to try the next day because you achieve that. So all of these things build up, if you start doing it every day, to increasing your self-esteem and getting out of that funk. I hope that makes sense. I don't like teaching in a class where there's no students. Okay, defense mechanisms. How we cope with unpleasant emotions. A lot of times we're not even aware of how we react to things until later, until you think about it, or maybe somebody comes up and tells you, you know, man, that was totally wrong how you dealt with that. And then you're like, wow, maybe it was. Some of these defense mechanisms we have can ultimately prevent us from dealing with issues. So think about some defense mechanisms that you have. Maybe bottling things up, maybe getting on the defensive and totally shutting someone out. Maybe if arguments start to happen, you just walk away, you can't deal with it. Those are defense mechanisms. How you deal with unpleasant emotions. So think about that. Think about how you deal with those things and how maybe you can improve on those so it'll ultimately help you dealing with these issues. Maybe it's in a relationship you have. Girlfriend or boyfriend wants to talk about something that you really don't want to deal with right then, or just keep putting on the back burner. So you just shut it down and maybe trying to communicate and listen to them. Like we talked about communication, listen to them and really hear what they're saying and then compromise. Okay, let's talk stress. We all have it and we have to handle it positively. And I know some of the stressors that you guys have in your life. Sure, I don't know all of them. Stressors are situations that put a demand on your body or mind. So school, relationships, family, friends, money or lack of it. Everything causes stress, it seems like. But the important thing is how you deal with it. Okay, and handling it positively. So there's different types of stressors. Your unit talks about these 5. One is environmental, conditions or events in your physical environment. I mean, that can be anything from flooding, wildfire, pollution, loud noise, your sibling that does something that irritates you and that's in your environment. I mean, it can be as big as global to as little as what's going on in your room and your house. Biological, conditions that make it hard physically to do daily activities. So that can be physical types of stressors, illnesses, disease, whatever it might be. Or even just some acute sickness that you have, an irritated eye, or whatever it might be. Thinking, mental challenges, behavioral, unhealthy behavior. Those are types of stressors. Life changes, huge stressors, moving, parents are divorcing, relationships, something major happening in one's life to cause stress, a loss, all kinds of things. All kinds of things. Okay, so you need to deal with these stress levels. It'll lead to health issues if you don't. So ways to decrease stress: exercise, sleep, eat healthy. What I talked about earlier, journaling or listening to music, whatever helps you decrease stress, find out what it is and do it. Okay, maybe it's if school's what's stressing you out, it's accomplishing stuff in school. Maybe that decreases your stress. Okay, time to work on it. Deep breaths, release the tension in your body. Important. Even if things turn out bad, learn and grow from those experiences. Every situation, every consequence, everything that happens, whether it's good or bad, if you learn and grow from it, hey, that's what life skills is all about, right? Changing your attitude, time management with school. I mean, that's a huge one. All right, so that was down and dirty in 15 minutes. I am done. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you. Oh, actually, one announcement. Next week, May 11th is a Sunday at midnight. It is another hard zero date. So zeros in the gradebook will become permanent. So make sure that you have everything turned in by May 11th. Everything in the course calendar up until that date, up until May 9th, that Friday, is fair game for those zeros in the gradebook to become hard, fast zeros. So make sure you get that work in. Okay, you guys, have a good week.